What is up, Jabronis? JJ back here with the crew. Snyder, Uncle T, Mangone. Season finale, if you will, of the PGA Tour. And this is the championship. Uncle T, did I get that right?
You got it right, Uncle. Nice job.
Thank you. It's a good way to start the show. I figure, Uncle T, you're a guy of style. What do you think of my getup today? I think, I wore this specifically for you. I know you like the hat. Figure I'd go a little V-neck. Thoughts?
I'm not quite sure how I want to start the show. I don't know if I want to start in your doghouse or if I want to start on your good side. But no, love the hat there, Dunkel. Looks like you're getting ready to make a wager down at the Kentucky Derby down at Churchill, maybe, So, yeah, I like it.
Appreciate that, Uncle T. And Snyder with the crispest white hat that probably exists in the Run Pure apparel store, rocking your little Nebraska hoodie where college football season's right around the corner.
Hopefully we can win more than 3 games this year.
Yeah, it's crazy how much talent that lack of wins with Frost. But needless to say, we go over to Mangone. Mangone, I like this new setup. It's daring what's behind you. There's a lot going on. Thoughts about the backdrop, what we're doing it right now?
Yeah, you got the white hat, I got the white backdrop. You know what I mean? So we gotta fire away with that, get the people all riled up. But no, I was telling you guys before the show, I went downstairs and I said, hey, where's the toolbox? We got the hammer. No nails though. No nails in this house. So I got to make a trip to the store, got to get some nails, and we're going to hang some stuff up. So hopefully next week you'll be able to see it. Maybe by the time we got that CFB show, I think on Saturday we might have one. I'm not sure. But we're definitely doing a CFB show after this to kind of break it all down and talk a little bit about the season. Not really going to talk about the specific Saturday slate, but that should be a good time. Dunkel, I know you love some college football, so I'm pretty excited for us to kind of get up and start playing some CFB every Saturday morning.
Love it. That's going to be right after like 8 o'clock or a specific time for the CFB show?
Yep, 8 o'clock, right around there.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, if you're not doing anything, jump on if you want for a while.
Yeah, love it. Love it. And Snyder, you know all about hammering. With Mangone, with the hammer. Last week, was it a good week for you? Bad week? Cozy?
It was all right week. I think I ended up losing slightly a little bit. I was sitting with the nuts, I thought, heading into the weekend until Zalatoris withdrew and then Morikawa went double 10. I was sitting really good in some tournaments heading into the weekend. I was looked like I was gonna easily make the underdog championships in the best ball there. I had Scott Stallings on that team as well with Zalatoris and Rory and Colin Morikawa. So didn't end up at the best, but we're gonna get it all back here and then with the foots coming up soon too.
Yeah, and Uncle T, your week last week, yay, nay, cozy, anywhere in between.
So do you want to start with the DFS side this week, Dunkel, or do you want to? No, we can talk about it. I like to be transparent. Dunkel got the best of me. I did the early, not screenshot, but I did the early message in our thread. And hey, I thought a 14-shot lead going into Sunday was going to be safe, but hey, Dunkel, Hovland got it done for you, and Morikawa showed how small of a wiener he's got, and he shot a 79, and it cost Uncle T $100. So, hey, like Mangone says all the time, you lose, you ship it over, and then you move on and you go to the next week.
I want to be clear that I would have preferred you beat me for that $100 if it meant I had a better showing in the NASCAR streets on Sunday. But needless to say, Mangone, last but not least, good week, bad week for you? How'd you turn out?
Nothing crazy. Colin held me back. I don't want to. I know we were all arm in arm on Colin Morikawa, and hey, it was looking really good on Sunday, and then it just didn't turn out well. And Doug, I know you don't like when we're arm in arm on stuff, but there's only 29 golfers this week, okay? And like reality, when we get to like the outright section, there's not many guys that can actually win this damn event, okay? Like JT Poston ain't coming back from like 10 strokes down to like just pass everyone and lap him. You see NASCAR, the dude who starts 30th, and has crappy equipment, that dude ain't winning the race. I'm just sorry, Dunkel. So just think about that when we're going to the outright section. Don't be too hard on us this week. We'll try our best, but and I also looked at the tiers already, and me and Snyder and Uncle T, we got some overlap. It's not going great, so I know what's coming here on these future segments.
Fantastic. More knob slobbing expected. Love it. Richie, much love. Yeah, folks, you can like the video. You're allowed. It's not illegal. And FLX, this is a good point. My guy, Big Dick Vic, really let down. I like the upside behind him, and the upside he brings to the table. But needless to say, he waited till round 4 to shoot a 6 under. But yeah, that is quite a tough beat, Uncle T. I mean, could you imagine if we did that for like a few thousand, losing that head to head? I mean,
I would have just shipped it over.
My God. But let's roll into this course now. You want to walk us through the breakdown?
Yeah, I can give us a little quick breakdown of this place.
The format as well, Snyder, if you don't mind, because I know the format's a little different this week.
Yeah, for sure. We're here at East Lake, home of the Tour Championship this week. It's Donald Ross design, measuring 7,346 yards. It's going to play as a par 70. The Bermuda grass greens here are going to run from back to front with some tough runoff areas as well. The greens are going to be rolling fast at around 12 on the step meter. Players are going to put an importance on positioning and approach shots. You want to be below the hole here to avoid the really tough downhill putts. So I think that's going to be key. These greens seem a little larger than they actually are. They're going to measure right around 6,000 square feet on average, but they're going to be more long and narrow. So it's going to be tougher to hit these greens than you might think with the square footage on them. So that's something to consider. The fairways here are surrounded by the tree line fairways here. A thick Bermuda rough here is going to measure at 2.5 inches, which may not seem a lot, but for Bermuda rough, that's actually pretty thick. It's going to be pretty gnarly lies there. So you definitely want to find the fairways off the tee here to have success here. It ranks as one of the top third hardest to hit fairways on tour. So you definitely want to hit the fairways if possible here. Some of the other key strokes we'll be looking at this week, strokes gained approach, fairways gained, bogeys avoidance, and around the green play. And for this event, it's going to be an interesting structure here as Scotty Scheffler is going out at 10 under. He's going to hold a 10-shot lead over the guys near at the back. So it's going to be kind of a staggered scoring here. Just pulling up where everybody's starting at now. So we've got Scotty at -10. We've got Cantlay at -8. Xander -6. Burns -5. And then there's a group of people at -4, a group of people at -3, a group of people at -2, and then all the way down. But definitely you need to take that into account when you're making your bets and for DFS purposes.
Love it. And obviously this tournament has a little bit of a different format. Before we talk on DFS plays you like, how are you – we'll start with you, Snyder. How are you approaching DFS knowing about the starting position from onset?
Yeah, I'm going to be looking to jam one of the top guys in there, maybe two, probably just one within the 5 shots, and then I'm going to jam a couple other guys, and they're pretty much going to go stars and scrubs this week. I think it's pretty straightforward this week. I'm going to be eliminating a lot of the guys in the mid-range, and just there's some really good values down there. The pricing has went below 5 or 6K this week. Usually it bottoms out at 6K. This week they brought it down to 5K, and with that they increased the maximum salary. I think the top guy is like 13,000 or something this week. So definitely looking at the stars and scrubs approach this week.
Very good. Very good. Uncle T, Mangone, kind of similar approach as you build lineups?
Yeah. For me, I'm the same way. We just got off the premium show a couple hours ago with me and Big T and Tambo. And, I think as we talk through that, we, I at least kind of landed on similar to what Snyder just said is, from Rory on up, I think I'm going to jam 2 of these guys into every one of my lineups. And then it'll lead into our first segment tonight. I won't get into it yet, but like Snyder said, we're going to have so much value all the way down there. And these guys, again, they're here. They're not regular 6K, duds that are terrible. These guys are good, obviously. So I just think you got a tremendous amount of value down there underneath 5K to make that double stud, pairing work up top. I do like 1 or 2 guys in the mid-range, so I'm not completely fading the mid-range, but I do like the stars and scrubs approach. I agree.
Love it. Mangone, kind of same sentiment?
Yeah, a little bit. So like something to touch on that these guys haven't touched on yet is like ownership is not going to be as like big of a deal to me this week. And like, let me explain why. I mean, yes, you can make an argument that like, if you're playing Aaron Wise at like, I think he's going to come in like 33 to 35%, like that range. You could even get steamed up to 40 in some of these higher dollar stuff. Yeah, maybe like a pivot to a guy in the similar range of like a Tom Hogue at like 20% might be a little better. But the point I'm getting at is like, what's the difference between like, I don't know, Colin Morikawa at like 25% and then going over to like Corey Connors at like 23 or 21, like just not a huge difference on them. So my main way of getting different, I think, on this slate is I'm going to leave salary on the table. I'm just not going to sit here and be like, hey, I'm at like, if the team has like $100 left, no, I'm probably not that excited about it. Now, I'm not going to say I'm going to go out here and leave $2,000 on the table. And I know our guy, Tambo, he did post that last year, there was a lot of dupes, but the team that won only left $200 and it was only duped twice. So what you got to think about is, how are you constructing your team? Let's say that you decide to go up to the top, and let's say you decide to fade, like, let's say you fade, Scheffler, Cantlay, Xander, Rahm, and Rory, and you're starting your team with like Tony Finau and Justin Thomas. Like, you're instantly different in that way. So then you could eat wise chalk, right? I'm just going to think about the way that I really roster my lineups this week. If I am going to play the really like good plays that I like if I'm going to play an Aaron Wise, I'm probably going to try and leave like $500 on the table. If I do a Rory McIlroy and Aaron Wise start, which I'm looking at, leaving salary on the table is definitely going to be something I'm very much thinking about. So that's going to be a key point that I'm looking at DFS-wise when I kind of build out my teams. And I'm also in agreement with these guys. Like, I want to have two guys at least at the top that I feel like that can ship this thing, or at least be in the mix. So I really do feel like there's only like 6 or 7 guys that actually have a chance to win this event. And I'm hoping then from there, those guys can catch up, get to the top, win the event. And then I have these other guys at the bottom that can make some birdies and just have a good DK scoring event where that just fits the equation, right? At the end of the day, you might need the guy that's 1 and 2. And if you got 2 guys that are 1 and 2, then having these value plays are going to be necessary for your lineups.
And it makes a ton of sense, right? I mean, a lot of good points from all three of you there. One thing I want to hit on, so obviously Big T loves the Snyder new background. But why isn't Mangone's new background getting more love? I mean, what is going on here? Like, we're just going to talk up Snyder's? Look at this.
I mean, listen, it's simple.
Come on, Big T. Give some love where it's deserved.
It's just very simple, right? But sometimes all we need is a little simple in our life, right? You don't need to go out to some fancy restaurant, Big T. Just hit up Buffalo Wild Wings. It's nice and simple. I know you love that.
What's up, Mark? Uh-oh.
Elephant in the room.
So yeah, obviously Mark asking about, can we trust Morikawa? I guess we'll talk about that when we talk on outrights, but we'll go to what's up, Samantha and Richie as well. The DFS Plays. Snyder, we'll start with you. Who do you like this week at the top? And obviously I know you're gonna have to play some people from the top and some fast, right, with how they're starting, but who do you like the most for value at the top, and then who do you like for most for value at the bottom? Snyder, you're on mute.
Yeah, Snyder on mute. Really do hate to see it.
Snyder went like 3 straight months without talking on mute.
Yeah,
I mean, we'll give you a break.
Yeah, it happens. It's different mute here than on Zoom, so I didn't click it right. But definitely, I'm going to be on Xander Schauffele this week. I think he's one of the best plays on the board. A little bit of price savings there. I mean, the course history for Xander here is just absolutely elite. I mean, he's won this event in 2017, and then in 2019 and 2020, he shot the best low net score here. So I think Xander's even going to win. We'll get into that later, but Xander's definitely my favorite guy at the top. I mean, the course history is elite. The recent form is elite. So I'm going to go with Xander as my top guy there. And moving down the board, I know a lot of those guys in the 5K range are going to be pretty popular. So I'm just going to go with Adam Scott. I've kind of been talking up Adam Scott the last couple of weeks. Like, he grinded really hard there towards the end of the season just to make the top 70. And then he had to go back-to-back top 5 just to make the top 30. So I think he's going to keep that good mojo going on. I like Adam Scott quite a bit for the value play this week.
Love it. Uncle T, how about you? What do we like?
Yeah, I'm out of breath, but had to get the dog out. I knew she was going to wait right till I started the show. They have to go out to the bathroom, so didn't hear these guys. Did both of them already talk?
Yeah, Snyder. It was Adam Scott, and who was the first one?
Xander Schauffele.
Gotcha. All right, so we're giving one up top and one down below. Is that the part of the show, JJ?
Yeah, it's been that format for the last 2 years.
Thanks, JJ. I just want to confirm. Tour Championship, maybe you changed the rules on us. I don't know. So, no, up top for DFS, I'm going to he was in my core. We'll talk a little bit later about him even more, but Rory McIlroy will be my
you tried, Uncle. You tried. Sorry, Uncle T, for interrupting.
Rory will be my play up top. Just, he's sitting back there -4. He's 6 shots back at Chef. He's what, 4 shots back of Cantlay, 2 back of Xander. He's going to get ownership for sure, but I like Rory quite a bit. We'll talk more about him in a minute. And then down below, it's hard to pick one here, Dunkel, because I'm going to be so heavy on all these guys underneath 6K. I know Snyder, I heard mention Adam Scott. Clearly a great play. I can make the argument for any of these guys from Adam Scott on down. KH Lee, Harmon, Wise, Post, and Hoagie, all of these guys are going to make this type of a tournament, which is definitely rare. We don't usually get to, build and construct lineups with this type of format and this few of players. So if I had to pick one, it would probably be Wise because he's in my core, but I'm going to have exposure to all these guys. Harmon would probably be my next guy, but I can't really make a call, Dunkel. I'm going to just say all these guys down below 6K and take the easy way out.
Okay, cool. Mangone, DFS, what do you like at the top and bottom?
Yeah, just like a true Kentucky basketball player, taking the easy way out to join forces with everyone in John Calipari to try and win a championship. Nice job there, Uncle T. But let's go on over and talk about the DFS plays. I'm kind of arm in arm with Snyder on this one. I went back and forth on, like, is it Rory? Is it Xander? Which one's my favorite? I might play both, but I kind of ended up deciding, like, the guy I kind of want to, like, live and die with, I think, is going to be Xander Schauffele, mainly because I think Rory is going to come in as, like, one of those higher-owned guys, and I kind of just think, like, Xander has, like, the better chance at winning anyways, and, like, if I spend that extra money, I just think it helps make my team a little bit different the way I'm building right now. So that's kind of why I went with him. Talked him up last week. I'm with Snyder, too. The dude has been playing incredible. If you had to list, like, 4 golfers who have just been, like, absolutely, like, insane this year, I feel like Scotty Scheffler is one of them. I feel like you could put Xander Schauffele in that bucket. I feel like you can also put, like, Tony Finau. He had a nice little stretch. And I'm blanking on the other one was, but what I'm getting at is Xander's been arguably one of the best golfers this season. I mean, he's definitely shown that at times. So I think he gets the job done here. Another thing to note, dude is definitely a closer. Whenever he plays on Sunday, he hasn't gone over par in 2 years on his last round. Like, when it's on the round 4, dude has not gone over par in 2 years. That's insane. So I know if he's going to be in the mix on Sunday, which I think there's a good chance he will be, I know he's not going over par. I mean, he's be able to close this thing out. So really like Xander Schauffele. I think he's going to be my guy up top. Down low, it's definitely going to be interesting here. Aaron Wise is the guy that everyone is gravitating towards. You could make the argument one way to instantly be different. If Aaron Wise ends up being 35 to 40% owned, well, you could play a Stars and Scrubs build like a lot of people are and just not play Aaron Wise, and that's going to be a way to be different. Don't know what my opinion is on Aaron Wise. I have him in my core. I might make the change out, though, and it might be for Brian Harmon. I mean, I love Brian Harmon in this spot. Like that he's a guy that can gain fairways, and that's a key stat that I'm definitely looking at. Don't feel like he'll be wild enough off the tee. He's a grinder. I think that it's a good spot for Brian Harmon. So I know our boy Big T in the chat. He'll absolutely love that. Brian Harmon has won him $1 million before. Hopefully he won't win me $1 million this week, but hopefully he can win me a lot of money this week.
Love it, man. Go mentioned about 12 names there. So, there's only 30 golf. Keep up the good work over there, Travis.
I mentioned 2. I mentioned 2 that I'm playing. I mentioned how you have to pivot off of them. So that's crap, Dunkel. I'm going to, veto that.
And yes, so Snyder, you would know best that color. It's got to be on the site, right? I mean, that's a crisp white.
This one is not on the site. This was a custom-made hat. That was actually someone sent it to me. Our guy Nugs from the Discord chat actually sent me this last year, I think.
That's impressive. Yeah, we need to get that.
Love to see it.
Yeah,
Shout out to Nugs out there.
That is crisp. All right, so let's go over to outrights, and Mangone, we could start with you since we snake it here. Now for this, would you prefer we just do outrights without strokes, with strokes? You guys are,
No, I think we're doing it with the strokes, right? That was my assumption. Everyone else
agree.
I think you can do whichever. Yeah, it's interesting looking at both markets, though, for sure.
But yeah, fire away, Mangone.
Yeah, the bad news is you're going to have definitely some repeats with the DFS plays. That's the one thing I'll just mention here. We're going to talk about both guys. I guess I'm going to go first and steal someone's, because again, I like Rory, I like Xander, but the guy I'm going to end up leaning with, I'm going to lean with Xander, as Snyder calls him X-Xander, because I think it's a good spot for him at plus 550. There's just not a lot of guys that can even actually ship this event down low. So we are going to take guys that are more towards the top. That's just the realistic thing of it. Maybe you can find an interesting live line that could be intriguing. That's something to shop around with on maybe the second round if you want to wait and hold off on betting. I'm perfectly fine with that. I also don't think it's a week that you need to just jump in and bet $1 million outrights. Like, it's okay to not like bet outrights as much this week. Just don't think it's the greatest for it. I don't think there's a lot of guys at the top to really bet on. And there's someone I'm going to take a shot on. It's Xander. The plus 550 is fine. I hate taking these closer numbers, but it's a different week. You know, Scotty Scheffler's plus 200. Cantlay's before him. So it's like, it's just tough because a guy like JT Boston at the bottom, he just ain't winning this thing.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Uncle T, who do we like? Ship this.
Yeah, I mean, Mangone is completely correct, and I'm sure Snyder will agree here in a moment. It is. It's a different week where it's hard to take an outright from down below. We'll maybe give one if we have to for the show, but I'm staying up top two, and I'm going to go down the board just one notch as far as the betting markets. I'm going down to Rory McIlroy, 9-1. I'm seeing right now on DK. So 9-1 for Rory to come back again. He's 6 shots back. There's no doubt about that, but. Again, in this format, they're playing 4 rounds. So, you know, them guys talked about it last night on the Pen Seekers. We talked about it on the show today. This is different. There's 30 guys. Like Scheffler can go out and double bogey the first hole or go bogey, and then some, you know, Rahm or Rory goes birdie, and boom, that difference is shrinks pretty quick. So, you know, believe me, I'd rather have the stroke leads, you know, the 2-stroke, 4-shot, 6-shot lead that Chef's got. Don't get me wrong, but as far as this goes, I like Rory McIlroy. He came back from 4 back in 2019, and he won by 4. So he knows what it takes to do it. He's won here twice. I think he's going to be the first 3-time FedEx Cup champion at the end of the week.
Finished strong pretty too, I believe, right? What, 3 birdies after a cozy
Yep.
or struggling a bit from start to finish. Started out so strong. Wasn't he like 6 under his first 10 holes, and he like ended out 6 under, something like that? So just kind of crazy, but needless to say, Snyder, you're out right.
Yeah, I'm pretty much in lockstep with that man going there. I'm going to go with the X-Man again, Xander, as I like to call him. I mean, the thing that really gets me on him for like a DFS purposes is you look at these to win odds without the stroke advantage. Xander's a favorite on DraftKings to win this event without the strokes to start the event. So he's plus 750 without the strokes, and he's plus 550 with the stroke advantage. So definitely with his elite course history here in recent form, there's no way I can get off Xander here. And I'm going to be heavily, might even lock him on every lineup I play in DFS this week.
Love it. Now, I was about to say no love for Scotty, but shocking.
Shocker.
Shocking. So what's the take on Scheffler? I mean, well, I'll be honest, before we talk Scheffler. So Rahm, to me, if the dude can just figure out how to play golf on Thursdays and Fridays, he's had 2 really strong back-to-back weekends. Nobody thinks he's live 12-1.
I don't have any issues with Rahm personally. I'm going to have him, like I said, for my DFS lineups. I'm going from Rory on up, and I'll have plenty of exposure to John Rahm. I'm going to prefer Rory as far as my outright, but I have no problem with Rahm.
Fair enough. And on the Scotty end, any value? I mean, 225 is kind of crazy, right, for a tournament like this?
Oh yeah, I don't think there's any way. I mean, you know, Allie can put up her, you know, $10 to win. What is that? One of them holding bets? JJ put up $10 to win what? 65 cents or something like that. I don't know what it is.
I don't know if you got the memo, Uncle T. We don't tolerate Holden Kushner slander on this show.
But no, you can't bet that at that short of odds. I'm definitely a pass on Scotty as far as the outright.
And Cam Smith seems to be getting love in the chat. Obviously, his odds are a little stacked. He's got a ways to climb. Anything there?
Yeah, that dude is doing the old, you know what they do in the playoffs, the 3-2-1 Cancun. He's 3-2-1 Live Tour. Like, no, he's good. He's going to be out. He's not going to risk his hip, right? He knows he's getting the big bag anyway. So I think Cam Smith is one of the worst bets on the field. I'll say that.
I don't even
agree
think,
with that.
unless you guys say otherwise, is there even needed to talk value here? Like these guys at the bottom, or I mean, I guess middle or bottom, they have such a long way to climb. If you have to name anybody, I mean, any of you three can talk, but anybody from 25-1 on that has a chance to win this tournament?
The only issue I'll say about this climb, it's like, it's not just you have to climb up to there. It's like you have to climb and like you have to outperform all these dudes. Like you have to outperform Xander, Cantlay, Scotty. Like good luck with just like, how is that going to happen? How are they all going to like have like, I don't know, like 25 percentile performances with absolutely just bums, and then these guys climb the top leaderboard, and this isn't like an easy course. So like, I don't know. I just think there's no real shot on any of these lower guys. So I'm just going to save my money. Maybe Snyder or Uncle T has something, but I got nothing.
Yeah, I think if you want to attack some of these lower guys, I think you should do it in the markets without the strokes. So like last year we saw Kevin Na. He was one of the cheapest price guys. He shot I think like 15 under, I think, and won the raw score, but he didn't win the event obviously. But he was one of those guys that started like even or one under and made up a lot of distance there. So I think that's maybe the markets I would look to if you want to target some long shots this week.
Cool stuff. Uncle T, anything you want to add?
No, I definitely agree. I mean, I think one guy we don't necessarily like for DFS, but I'm looking at DK Sportsbook right now, and Dunkel, you mentioned the 25 or longer. Again, I don't necessarily like him this week, but a guy that could, you're looking at Cam Smith right now. He is 25-1, so not to pick that number specifically, but he is a guy that, again, we've seen play well and play well in stretches for sure, and he can go on a roll. So if you had to tell me or, ask me one guy, it would definitely be Cam Smith. So I'm not going to be on him, but to answer the question, I would say Cam Smith has the best chance.
Now, this is what we usually do T20s. What we'll do here is some type of hybrid T5, T10s. FanDuel's offering them. You don't have to say anything if you don't like it. I will say this. I mean, Rahm, the T5 at a pretty robust, was it 2-1, plus 190? This dude has finished strong his last two tournaments. Like I said, if we can just get a mild Friday and Saturday from him, if he can just keep his confidence rolling. Because if he even plays remotely well Thursday, Friday, I mean, he's got enough confidence that he's been playing well on the weekends to roll it into here. Anything we like, Snyder? I'll start with you, T5, T10.
I think that Rahm call is interesting there. I mean, the thing with Rahm, though, it's been crazy the last few events. It's either been the putter or the irons. He's just hit or miss on both of them. Last week, I think he lost 2 strokes approach, but gained like 4 strokes putting. The week before, he lost like 2 strokes putting. So if he can somehow get those two to mesh, I mean, he's definitely live to win this event, even from where he's starting in with the strokes. But plus 900 for him without the strokes for his outright rods. And what's he at? 12-1. I think those are fine. But for my top 10 though this week, I'm gonna go with Matthew Fitzpatrick. You can get him plus 100 with the strokes, so it's actually crazy. You can get him the same odds with the strokes versus without the strokes. So I'm definitely gonna take the strokes there. I'm gonna take the 3-stroke cushion there, and I'm gonna go with Matthew Fitzpatrick plus 100. I think this is one of those tracks we like to usually target Fitzy on. Tough to hit the fairways off the tee. Ball striker paradise, second shot track. So definitely think Fitzpatrick is definitely one of those guys I like to target on these tougher to hit fairways, ball striker course, and tougher overall tracks here.
Love it. Mangone, anything you like in that T5, T10 area?
Yeah, I actually almost went with the Fitzy one, Snyder, but I went with Corey Connors. Corey Connors at plus 210. I'm sure I'll get the Big T approval as well, which you always love to see that. But hey, I think Corey Connors, just fairways gained is something that I'm definitely going to key in on a little bit this week. I think this is a course where you can get yourself into some trouble. And these guys, they're going to be pin seeking a little bit, right? Like if you look at like the way this is set up for like the bag that you can secure at the top, I mean, it's interesting. You got 18 million at the top, right? Second gets 6.5, third gets 5 mil, fourth 4 mil. Once you kind of hit like, 10th, you're at like $1 million, then it's 950,000. 12th is 900,000. 13th is 850,000. Like DraftKings would not approve of this pricing structure. They would want everything at the top. So I think you are going to see some of these guys just not care about this mid-range a little bit, right? They at least DK is going to prove about the 18 million up top because they like that, hey, you're going to gun for that and shoot for it. And these guys are who are all the way at the top. But I think some of these guys in the mid-tier, like, when you're in like 15th place, it's not a big difference than being in 10th place, where you're going to see these guys from way back really start to pin seek and try to get up there for top 10. So I think Corey Connors is a guy you're going to see just kind of climb up and really have a good day. So I think that Corey Connors is going to be my guy at plus 210 for top 10.
Love it. Uncle T, anything on your end? T10, T5?
Yeah, I like the Connors call. You can't go wrong with Corey Connors there. I'm going to, Dunkel, go with a T10. And this guy hurt my feelings last week, but I don't mind going week to week in golf. I don't hold grudges. You can't. I like Victor Hovland, plus 190. So if you look at where he starts, -2 doesn't seem like much. But again, if you look at it where they start, this is again with the strokes. He's T15 right now. Now, clearly a lot can happen in 4 days, but if he can avoid that one bad round that he's been prone to do recently, if you take that out of there. Again, this guy, he has the upside, and I think for plus 190, to top 10, I just think that's a really good price tag on Big Vic here. And, you know, I don't know how these guys will feel about it, but again, I just feel like that's a good price for him to T10. He's got a T4 and a T14 here the last couple of years too. So clearly likes the course as well.
Love it. You know, I'm a big Dick Vic fan, so keep up the good work there, Terry. Last but not least, we'll talk on some matchups. Hopefully we'll stick with you. Is there a certain matchup you like this week?
Yeah, these were a little tougher for me. I'm going to be honest. When I was looking through these today on both sites, they're just a little bit tougher because, again, it's a shortened field. We like a lot of these guys. A lot of these guys will be in our pool. So I was just kind of going, Dunkel, basically more on just value. I'm not going to pick a minus, you know, there's some crazy numbers out there. They're minus 200s, minus 300s in matchups. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give you 2 because and it won't be like I don't like the other guys, just the value part. I like Justin Thomas plus 115 over John Rahm, and I like Cantlay plus 125 over Scheffler. And again, it's strictly, you can't tell me if you take the starting position out of this, you can't tell me that there's that big of a disparity, you know, there. So I like the 2 value plays there, Dunkel. JT plus 115 over Rahm and Cantlay plus 125 over Scheffler.
Awesome. Mangone, matchup you like?
I'll admit, when I looked at matchups, I was struggling. I like Uncle T's approach. I wish I was sharp like Uncle T and thought of that strategy. But not going to pivot here. I'm going to stick with what I got. I got Matt Fitzpatrick at minus 128 over on FanDuel. I know they don't have as great of lines, but I didn't love some of these like DK matchups that I was looking at. So I know FanDuel matchups aren't as great, but that's just what we got. So we'll take Matt Fitzpatrick minus 128 over Cam Young. And the reason why I'm doing it over Cam Young, listen, I understand Cam Young could go out there and shoot lights out, but he doesn't gain as many fairways. He's a guy that can spray a little bit off the tee, and Fitzpatrick's a grinder. That's a guy that I'm not saying Fitzy's going to go out and like ship this event or anything, but I think he's going to be up there towards the top. I think he'll be hanging out in that top 10 for the most part. I feel confident in that. So I'm just banking on Cam Young, basically like, you know, kind of trying to like pin seek a little bit and then fall back, and Fitzy just keeps grinding this thing out. So I feel confident in my chances that Fitzpatrick gets the job done over Cam Young. Again, it's a matchup, right? I'm not betting it outright here for the upside. I'm betting it because I think one guy's just gonna, you know, get a little more wild than the other, and I think Fitzpatrick gets it done.
Love it. Snyder, last but not least, what's our matchup?
Yeah, I'm going to go with, it's going to have a little correlation with my value play from earlier. I'm going to go with Adam Scott at minus 110 versus Wise here. I definitely am going to be heavy on Wise. I think he's a great DFS play, but I really like what I've seen from Adam Scott here recently. He was top 15 at both the last 2 majors, at the U.S. Open and the Open, and then he's been playing just super well over these FedEx Cup playoffs here, back-to-back top 5s. He's gaining strokes across the board. The putter's been heating up for him too. The short game's been excellent. Great off the tee, so I think he's got everything that needs to happen here. He's got course history here, a fairly decent course history here, and Aaron Wise hasn't played at this course yet, so I'm going to definitely lean to that even too. So Adam Scott minus 110 is my favorite.
Love it. Love it. Boys, we did the show relatively quickly tonight, 33 minutes, probably a little long to be honest, all things considered. Shorter format, shorter show, so less people on the show, and somehow we're still where we're at. So good work all around. Final notes, Snyder, from you. I know we got the college football show coming up next, so maybe talk a little bit about that and a little bit what else is going on this weekend.
Yeah, we're going to do a little bit of a rundown of just like a preview, college football preview. We're going to run through every conference, talk about some players we like, give some predictions, and at the end, what we think is going to happen and such. I think Mangone's going to join us for that. So Bruce and Rubio will be over there as well. I think Susie might jump on as well. So really looking forward to that show. I'll still have, I don't think we're going to do the showdown shows this week with this type of event, but I'll still have some playbooks and such over on site. Make sure you head over to Run Pure Sports. If you haven't, use that promo code NFL15. That's going to get you 15% off your subscription for life. All sports, one price. That's going to even include the SaberSim product we have. That'll have, you have Mangones, a player pool in there. You have Big T's, JSUs, APs, Hoops, Cash Corner. Everything's going to be in there. Player pools, core plays, import, export, late swap, do all that jazz over there. So head on over, join the movement at Run Pure Sports. We're going to have a loaded gun here coming with NFL, college football, MLB playoffs, and then NBA is going to be starting here soon. So join the movement now at your cheapest price ever.
Love it. And yeah, what better time to join RPS now with college football, NFL starting? It's best time of year. Mangone, final notes. You look you look all right. Like you don't look super happy at the show's ending, but you look somewhere in between.
No, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy Kurt and Allie are somewhere playing Pong on their phones, having a good time, laughing it up. Excited for the college football season to come. Very much excited to talk about all that. Should be a good time. So be able to check out that show. And hey, tons of golf winners tonight. Be sure to get in that Discord chat too. Talk about it. Lots of strategy to be able to break down as well. This is a fun event. So I know some people, they don't like these ones, but I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think some people are going to just like make some really bad teams. And hey, hopefully I can just get myself in the winner's circle, give myself a chance, and feel like I can do that. And I love that football's right around the corner. Like, just, it's a great time of year. Then basketball comes up. I mean, like the summer, it's a little bit of a lamer time, but sports is really going to ramp up here. And I know everyone's excited to just gamble on some football.
Yeah, absolutely love it. And last but not least, on the final PGA show of the season, who better to close us out than Snyder again for round 2 of his final notes. Uncle T, final notes from you, and then we can call it a season.
I was gonna give you a compliment too, and I might maybe back off that now. But no, one thing those two did not mention, Uncle, was how good a job you did hosting the show all year here on the Golf Bet side. And you have to put up with those ding dongs every week, and you do a great job. But no, these guys mentioned it. It's a great time to join. We got, again, with this college football and NFL starting again, we've got a lot of sports going on every night. We've got a great team, a lot of additions with the football. We're going to be starting the Wishbone pod back up with Holden, myself, JT Hayes. I'm not sure if G Rison's going to be on there with us yet or not, and then Dunkel, maybe I'll join you for a random show here or there. I can't wait for that. So, no, good luck to everybody in the contest. Appreciate everybody in chat, always supporting this show. And good luck to everybody this week.
Yeah, exciting stuff. Appreciate the kind words. I think that we try to not slob each other a bit, but I try to cut that off as much as I possibly can. But a lot of exciting stuff coming up as far as content goes. This weekend, I won't be around, sad to say, because I'll be down at my father's. But yeah, starting next weekend, Snyder, Mangone, we'll have a ton of college football content, a ton of NFL content. Really looking forward to it, and we're right around the corner. But yes,
man, I said hi.
Are you guys negotiating a RPS? Is it a multi-year deal? Are we signing into like a 10-day contract, or what are we doing there with Pops?
I just wake up and put one foot in front of the other, Uncle T. I don't have any details on anything. But yes, and as well, of course, big shout out to Allie and Kurt for helping us out for the show throughout the year. Felt like it was a lot of fun all around every show, and the live chat as well. Guys, always active. And I know we moved this channel over to RPS the last few weeks, but even on the Run Pure Bets end, just very active every week. A lot of fun doing this show, and we're looking forward to it for next year. But other sports ahead, and we're looking forward to that. Folks, until all of that, gamble responsibly, stay safe, and as always, run pure. We'll see you guys next season, and catch the college football show that turns live in 20 minutes.